Hi students, hope you all are doing good. Welcome back to the English grammar revision. Today let's discuss about voice, that is active and passive voice. So in grammar, the voice of a verb describes its relationship with the subject, object or any other element in a sentence. So the verb that is there in a sentence, it can be in the active voice or in the passive voice. Let us first see the examples, children, then I will explain to you what is the difference. The first example, Ricky cleans the garden, active voice. The passive voice will be the garden is cleaned by Ricky. Second one, he removed the weeds. Passive voice, the weeds were removed by him. Third example, he is watering the plants. Passive voice, the plants are being watered by him. Now let us understand what actually is the function of the verb in the active voice. So when we want to say that the subject of a sentence is doing the action, we use the verb of that sentence in its active form, means the subject is doing the action. For example, a man is cutting down a tree. What is the subject here? Man. A man is the subject. What action he is doing? He is cutting. So naturally cutting is the verb. So this is the active. It is in the active form. You understand, when the subject is doing the action, it is called as active voice. Now when you write this sentence in the passive form, see how changes are being made. When we want to say that the subject of a sentence is not doing anything but is allowing something to be done to it by somebody else, then we use the passive form. Example, a tree is being cut by a man. Now which is a subject here? A tree. Okay, and the tree is a subject and it is not doing anything but it is allowing the man to cut it. Okay, so therefore it is in the passive form. A tree is a subject. The tree is allowing the man to cut it. Therefore, it is the passive voice. When you learn some more examples, it will be clear for you all. Now, the boy is carrying the girl. Active voice. What is the subject here, children? The boy. What is the verb? Is carrying. So, there is an object here. What is the object here? The girl. The girl is the object of the verb. And who is doing the action of carrying? That is the subject of the sentence, the boy. So when the subject is doing the action, it is in the active voice. Now let us see the passive form of this example. The girl is being carried by the boy. So what is the subject here? The girl. Is being carried is a verb. By, the linking word, it is the preposition, and the boy becomes the object of the preposition by. So who is doing the action of carrying? It is not the girl who is a subject but the boy who is the object. Therefore it is in passive voice. Next sentence, John reads a book every day. Now this is the active voice. So John is the subject in the sentence. So when the subject is doing the action, we know that it is in the active voice. So what will be the passive voice? A book is read every day by John. Okay, so John becomes the object in the passive voice and object of the preposition by. So the subject of the active sentence becomes the object of the preposition in the passive sentence. See the next example. John reads a book every day. Active voice. So reads is the verb in the active sentence. What will be the passive voice? A book is read every day by John. Here we see the active form of the verb in active sentence is changed into passive form in the passive sentence. Reads becomes is read. You understand? The next sentence, how changes takes place. John reads a book every day. That is active voice. What is the book now? Book is the object of the verb. A book is read every day by John becomes the passive voice. Therefore, in the passive voice, a book becomes the subject of the passive sentence. Therefore, the object of the verb in the active sentence becomes the subject in the passive sentence. I am sure you would have understood by going through these examples. Let us do a little more of learning, children. Next sentence, he cooks food. It is the active voice. So, what is food here now? Object of the verb. Now, the passive voice of this will be food is cooked by him. So, food becomes subject of the passive sentence. And note that food is in the singular form. Okay, so when the subject of a sentence is singular, the verb also must be singular. When the subject of a sentence is plural, the verb of that sentence must be plural also. He carried some books, active voice. What will be the passive? Some books were carried by him. Notice the word books. Okay, were carried is the verb. Were is a plural. Books is also a plural. Next example, she has signed 10 letters, active voice. She is the subject, has is a part of the verb and it is in singular. 10 letters is the object of the verb. Okay, letters, 10 letters is in the plural form. So what will be the passive voice? 10 letters have been signed by her. So as per the rules, 10 letters which was the object in the active voice becomes the subject in the passive voice. And since it was plural in the active voice, it continues to remain plural even in the passive voice. Now let's understand how there is even a change in the tense form when we rewrite a sentence from the active or when we change a sentence from the active to the passive voice. Example, she bakes cakes. Active voice. The verb here is bakes and it is a simple present tense. What will be the passive voice of this? Cakes are baked by her. Are baked is the verb. So it is still in the simple present tense only. Let's go to the second example where a change in the tense is being done. He is building a sand castle. What is a verb here? Is building. And is building is a present continuous tense. And this is which voice? Active voice. So what will be the passive voice? A sand castle is being built by him. So being built is the verb. Now this is also in the present continuous tense. So the tense form you see, in the active voice it was in the present continuous tense. The same thing is continued even in the passive voice. That is, it is in the present continuous tense. The third change, let us understand. He has drawn a picture. What is a verb here? Has drawn. So it is in perfect continuous. It is in the present perfect tense. So what will be in the passive form? A picture has been drawn by him. Has been drawn is the verb and the tense form is the present perfect tense only. Okay, therefore we see whatever tense form is in the active voice, no children, it has to be continued even in the passive voice. Let us go to the next example. According to the traditional grammar rules, the present perfect continuous tense is not used in the passive voice form. However, we see in the present, that is contemporary English, there are many occasions wherein the present perfect continuous tense is used in the passive voice. See an example for this. He has been mowing the lawn. This is the active voice. The lawn has been moved by him becomes the passive form of it. Here you can see children, the tense form present perfect continuous tense only is used both in the active as well as the passive voice. Let us go to the next example. She told me a secret. Active voice. Told is a verb and it is in the simple past tense. So what will be the passive voice of it? A secret was told to me by her. So was told is the verb. And what is the tense form here? It is still in the simple past tense only. The next sentence, the postman was delivering the post. Was delivering is the verb and it is in the past continuous tense. So the passive form of this sentence will be the post was being delivered by the postman. So was being delivered is the verb and the tense form is the past continuous tense. The next one, she had eaten several peas before she offered him any. So this is in the active voice, which is a verb had eaten and the tense form past perfect tense. The sentence is in the active voice. So what will be the passive voice? Several peas had been eaten by her before she offered him any. So what is the verb here children? Had been eaten and the tense form is again the past perfect tense only. The next example, he had been writing letters for half an hour before somebody called him out. The passive voice will be letters had been being written for half an hour by him before somebody called him out. Therefore, we see that the past perfect tense is used in both the active as well as the passive voice. Let's now go to the next example. They will give the beggar some money. What is a verb here? Will give. And what is a tense form? Simple future tense. And the sentence is in active voice. Okay. What will be the passive voice? The beggar will be given some money by them. So will be given is the verb and it is still in the simple future tense. Now the last one, let us see how changes are being made. So now according to the traditional grammar rules, the future continuous tense in the active is not used in the passive form. Example, they will be playing with fireworks by the time their father reaches home. This is an active voice. Will be playing is the verb and it is future continuous. Okay, they cannot be a passive voice in this sentence. The next example, Sue will have sewn 2 dresses by 12 o'clock. Will have sewn is the verb, that is will stitch, and it is the future perfect tense and it is in the active voice. So 2 dresses will have been sewn by 12 o'clock by Sue. Will have been sewn is the verb and it is in the future perfect tense. And what form it is? It is in the passive voice form. The next example, according to the traditional grammar rules, even the future perfect continuous tense cannot be used in the passive voice form. See the example. You will have been working on the course material for 2 hours by 6 in the evening. Will have been working is the verb. It is in the active voice form and the tense form is future perfect continuous tense. This sentence you cannot change it into passive voice. Now let us go to the last example wherein the modal auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs are used in the passive voice form. How it takes be. Example, he will give you a book. Active voice. The passive voice form of this sentence will be you will be given a book by him. So we see be is being used. The next one, they can pick a number. Active voice. The passive voice will be a number can be picked by them. Be is used. Third sentence, we must finish this job. The passive voice of it will be this job must be finished by us. So, with this, we end today's class, children. I've explained to you about the voices, active and the passive voice, and even about the tenses, how it is being used in the voices. Hope you have understood. Write down the definitions that it will be easy to remember. Take care, stay safe. Thank you.